with Epi.
Yeah, I use Epi too everywhere, but it's the world used to say that you couldn't use Epi in fingers and nose and tips of toes, right? Because you might cause ischemia. It's all bull.
Yeah.
So the literature, that's just a fantasy. Okay? And you always have to turn between her and the needle, because nobody wants to see a needle. Okay? So everything gets done in front of you. Takes a real skill with, especially little children. You're always like hiding the needle until you're ready to roll. Okay? Now traditionally what you do then is, so you got your needle, now you switch to the finer needle, like maybe that 25 or 30. I like the 30, 25, doesn't matter. And then traditionally you're supposed to clean around the wound first, right?
Right.
So put your hand out. So we do this. I'm going to show you exactly the perfect way to do it. Now, studies have shown that tap water works as well as regular sterile water, so sometimes I just have them wash in the sink and go on with my life. But there you go. Clean the wound ahead of time. Pitch everything you touch the skin away from your tray. Remember, this is your sterile zone, okay? And then for injections, I kind of like to, when you're doing hands and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, baby. You can look away from me, okay? Thank you. I use my hand. I kind of like using this L technique. In other words, so if I'm going to inject something, I got control, right here. So I'm always injecting over my own body, okay? And what you want to do is you want to go in through the wound. Maybe you've been taught this before, but you go in through the open part, slide in all the way, and then pull back as you come back. Okay? Tend to not want to stress needles. You don't want to bend them. You just want to follow where they are. Really nice light touch. Okay, so why don't you try that? And you have to do this side of the wound, okay? Okay. So, that's perfect. Good angle. It's not so bad, is it? You're pretty stoic, okay? So again, anything you inject. Now, if we're going to do a digital block, you know how to do that? Have you done that before? Okay, so digital nerves go here, and they go here. They're on each side of the finger, and then they throw branches back and forth. So if we're going to do a digital block, I'm not going to do it to you, love, but we put it here, and we go up and down, and then we'll put it here and go up and down, and the whole finger numbs. And again, but this technique, get used to when you're holding fingers and stuff, is using your own body. We're resting it on you, because especially when you're new, you get that adrenaline shake. It's just good to have something. It's hard to do. See how I'm freehanding here? It's a little harder here. So anytime you can use your own little thumb, do it. Okay. Now, next thing we do is high pressure irrigation, right? Because what we found out is the amount of psi you shove into a wound, it knocks the bacteria free. Okay, so. And how that works, you know how that works. It's pretty easy. Good. Okay, so take it out, fill it up again. We'll just do a bunch of those. We're just cleaning it so there's no risk for infection, okay? That's good. And then another way to do that is to use use you as kind of the barrier. Okay, so if you look here, I'm holding it off. Not any pressure. And see, I push a little harder than you do. Some people could do this. They just put a little dilute betadine, because betadine is actually toxic to 10%, but if you really dilute it, it's not. It's a terrible antibacterial. I quit using it. Most of the time I just use saline. Do you see the difference there?
Yeah.
I'm going to blast it so it gets all foamy. Try that one more time. Then you'll be a pro. Okay, good. Okay, now we've got her clean. We've got it this. So now we drape. So we throw this aside. And do you need to use sterile gloves, or can you use regular gloves?
To drape? Okay.
Sterile gloves or regular gloves. Is there a difference in infection rate? No difference. One of those things. So we have all these. We used to think we needed up here, baby. Everything's sterile and sterile water, sterile drapes, all that stuff. It turns out that's not true. Yeah, it's all fantasy. So the wound study, and you just don't touch on the blue, baby. The wounds, and keep your thumb right there. The wounds information on wounds and management is the worst literature there is. It's all based on 100 years ago. There was no good controls. It was always biased towards, the ways people have done things 100 years. Okay, stitching. Are you good with this?
Yeah, I've done I did a year of surgery last year.
Oh, God, you're good then. Okay, good for it. Go for it. Is that where you started?
Yeah, I did a year at UCSF.
And then you decided
And
it wasn't for you?
No surgery for me.
Good for you. I did a year too. I was going to be a dental
Really?
surgeon. I said no, thank you.
No thanks.
The people were too unhappy at the end of it, you know.
Yeah, no, my seniors were not the happiest people.
That's why I align myself with emergency, because most of us kind of have lives outside of medicine and I'm not crazy. Perfect.
I don't know if you guys do instrument
Yeah,
ties.
instrument ties, yep. Look at that, broken tie. Right, that's cool. And then we're going to work on, so while you're here, if you have surgical experience, that's great. We can work on, I like to help people that are, because you could still keep your skills. Okay, up. Hold hands for me gently. Okay, now let's watch this. I'll show you my way.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, and I'm terrible, I use my fingers. I've been doing it too long. So for this, what we'll have to work on, I'll give you some instruments, and you just go across the wound in one throw. And what I do, get out of there. What I do is I think of it here, and it's two throws first, right? Grab, and you just gotta pull, backhand, forehand. I mean, this is what we do. We do this all day long.
Yeah.
And you gotta learn to be efficient with that kind of thing, and then up. Because tying by hands is too slow. Beautiful. Okay, you want to try yours?
Sure.
She's doing great. So I'm going to let her finish this corner, and then I'm going to go get a consent for you to sign, so
Yeah,
you can
no
be in my
problem.
wound study.
Okay.
And it's edwoundcare at sbch.org if you want to create a contact, okay?
Alright, thank you.
You bet. Nice meeting you. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, so 1, 2 across. Grab. Pull gently. Beautiful. Lay it down nice and straight so it gets the tension that when it closes it. Then backhand, forehand, backhand, forehand. A little tighter if you can. I'm an air ball, it's a little high. You get it? It's hard to get tension with that string at first. That's good. Do you like that? If you don't like it, you can cut it out if it's too. If you think it's not tight enough.
A little bit loose.
Let me see. I think it's okay. You're good. You're good. You can put one more in the corner if you want there, and I'll come back, okay? You're doing great.
How you doing? Pretty good. How about you? I'm good. We just have one tiny little one left. We got 4.
4 stitches?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you see it there? Got it. Just cleaning it out.
So like at the splinter board as well?
Sorry?
The board as well?
I don't know if you need one. It might help with the healing so you don't flex your fingers so much.
Is it normal for it to be swollen?
It's swollen because of the lidocaine that we injected right
Okay.
now. So it's just kind of right underneath the tissues right there.
Okay.